let's go jump into case study number 2. And I actually like this case study because so often as marketers, there's an unwritten rule amongst case studies, which is we did this thing. It was amazing. It worked. It was so fantastic. Everyone loved the marketing team. And this is not that case study. This is a crash and burn case study as it relates to a brand campaign. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the raw, authentic version of this one. Take it away.
Yeah, so we were tasked with, of course, creating some more brand awareness. So this was, a company that had been a little bit off of the grid and they wanted to draw some attention, make that big splash. So we even worked collaboratively with an agency as well to help support us and achieve those goals. And didn't quite pan out the way we thought that it would.
All right. So what was give us some business context here. What was going on? You mentioned lack of awareness, but what was happening? Were they a mature company? Were they launching a new product?
So I would say not fully mature, but on their way there. And there was no new product launch, but we did have some new messaging that we wanted to get on into market that, internally we had done some research to develop that. Seemed that it would resonate with our target audience again to, get them coming back to us, get that brand recognition and that muscle memory. But, oh, did we miss the mark on that? So unfortunately, there was, as we learned after the fact, doing some post-analysis, that alignment internally in terms of how to talk to our targets, the roles that they were in, was not as aligned as we initially thought. So really, we started off on the wrong foot, unbeknownst to us, until
Yeah.
we the point where we put it out in market.
Yeah. So the research that you had done was more about like internal research as opposed to actual customer facing.
Correct. Yes, it was very hard for us to get connected with customers, and
Yeah.
heat was on to get it out there, right? Get it done. So, yeah, that was definitely, again, another misstep on our end for not bringing in the voice of our customers.
Yeah. That's a theme that I've seen throughout my career. And usually, there's 2 or 3 teams internally that all have a shared vision in theory about the customer. What I always try to do is have it so that the customer breaks the tie. So whenever there's like hey, there's 2 different things that we're deciding, whether it's messaging or product naming, whatever it could be, be like, hey, great, 2 different ideas. Let's have the customer break the tie. And that's a cultural thing. Like you need to just culturally be there at a company because sometimes sales doesn't want to have that conversation with the marketing folks. So they're just saying, trust me, I know. So is that something that this company kind of did actually embrace the failure and that they were like, this is the reason why it didn't work?
It was let's say, a tough conversation to have that and bring that forward. Luckily, it has resulted in, for, future campaigns that we've been working on and brand narratives that we're making sure to bake that in as a step. And, the marketing team is really driving that, championing that, making sure that step is happening. So have moved in a good direction since that instance, but very hard lesson
Yeah.
to learn, I'd say.
It is hard. I mean, because most marketers get the challenge of, I need to get this done. And as soon as a marketer raises their hand and says, you know what if we add some market research to this? Market research is perceived as like, how dare you slow this project down? Don't you bring up market research? That's a 3 to 6 week initiative and you're asking me to spend more money. Or even, and I say 3 to 6 weeks. The other thing too is like, know that you can do market research in a day. Like you can say, hey, can I talk to 4 customers? Very informal. I just want to get on the phone with them. Or, hey, we've created a concept of something. Can I just let you react to it? I wish there was more research like that because I feel like most marketers are in that trap of traditional research, which is, and I'm not knocking it. It's just, it takes a while and it takes money to do it right. But I think the companies that can really just say, hey, I've got 3 customers who really love us. They're great at giving feedback. Let me just do this down and dirty. That can at least give you that directional guidance. And the outcome of that could be, hey, all right, we're willing to gamble. These 3 customers said it appeared directionally correct. Or otherwise, it's like, hey, no one agreed of these 3 customers. Now we actually have to do some research because we don't know. All right. Anything else about the second case study that you want to share?
Wow. I can share some of the areas where it fell down.
We're just gonna look. This is a traffic wreck. We're gonna examine the wreck from multiple angles. Go ahead.
Let's take a look. Let's say, hopefully, others will learn from this as we have. So, one of the challenges that we ran into was really creating also that global entity. And we leveraged let's say, like a brand sponsor, a brand representative identity that triggered not one, but two of our audiences. So again, was very telling in terms of the way that, that brand person spoke. So we thought it would be a great idea for them to have an accent. Did not resonate with two of our major audiences. So that was another element where I'd love to, hone back in on what you said, Steve, in terms of getting that customer feedback and understanding if we had, brought it to our customer base before we push it out into market, something that definitely could have been avoided and would have saved us from, trying to do a little bit more of by positive spin following it to get us back in, brand favor town, we'll say.